Alright, so it's Wednesday, which means there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is the new Tavern Brawl is out. Mukla is a year older and he loves bananas. Whenever one of your minions dies, he gives you a banana to celebrate. So that's the good news. Like, I do look forward to the new Brawl every week. The bad news is the first Brawl was a lot better. We'll just put it that way. So there's this new spot where you can create your deck list. I'll just go ahead and get my Brawl win of the day. I'm gonna go look for one of those Mage Tempo decks, which everyone is playing, because which better class to take advantage of the bananas with the Flame Wakers and everything isn't exactly a novel idea, but I couldn't really think of something better. Especially since the format is only 4 days long. It's like, sure, eventually if you played it enough, some kind of meta game would develop where you would counter the tempo mages by having every single deck run 2 Kazan Mystic in it, but probably the tempo mage is just cut Mad Scientist or something then. So anyways, we're gonna, much to your disappointment I'm sure, I'm going to be going with pretty much the cookie cutter deck of the week, the cookie cutter Brawl deck. The format is really fast on this one. So I mean, some amount of changes should be made to reflect that. Oh, these Tempo Mages decks out there aren't actually very good. I don't actually think I have the best Tempo Mage deck out there, but whatever, good enough. Tempo Mage actually turns out to be one of the decks I have the least experience with. Yeah, Teacher is good with the bananas. Alright, we'll go with that. So, the big problem I have with this week's Brawl is that it doesn't do enough to change the game. And it turns out that the decks that it encourages are the decks that players usually don't even like playing against. Some people say like it's not about winning, it's about having fun. Sure, you could come up with some kind of counter to this deck. The meta is actually really concentrated onto Mage and onto Hunter. So like, yeah, you could just come up with a counter, yeah. And that's all very good and admirable, and oh my gosh, my hand is insane. But this week's Brawl is uninspired enough that I think I'm just gonna win one game. What about Gazlo? It's just too slow. What about Gazlo? I say. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guy. That's quite insane. I think I want to wait for the Flame Waker, though. This is a tough call. It figures that it's during like the first time that I play Tempo Mage and Brawl of all things, I get an absolutely ridiculous hand. Wow, that's a good result too. The first week's Brawl was actually really cool. Of course they would unfurl it with like a bang. Oh, rotten banana. Congratulations. It was a really different format. And like the big banana. Oh, I see, that's why he's running Creeper, for more guys dying. That's adorable. The main problem with this format is that though there are changes you can make to the deck, like running creepers, running mirror images and whatnot, like one constructed deck, Tempo Mage, already has pretty much all the cards that are already really good. So you just run that in Brawl, and it's like, yeah. This format is bananas. I really should try to keep this alive.
What to do? What to do?
This card is, of course, bananas.
Time runs out on me.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting an eviscerate though. Alright. So here's the hoping that next week's Brawl has a bigger rule change. Or has, well yeah, a bigger rule change. Because it turns out that getting a banana whenever a minion dies just isn't quite big enough of a rule change, I think. I think most people are looking for a format which changes the rules on a larger level than just this, because they want Brawl to be a place to get away from the constructed decks, especially to get away from the Tempo Mages and the Face Hunters and whatever. Maybe next week.